And welcome back to another episode of the Lindsay TVFilm Podcast. I don't like how it's small like that, but if I do that, I feel I'm too big. But you can still hear me this way. So I'll just stick to that then. So, first off, on the slide is Ranger Station. So I really want to go to the event Friday night with Unworthy, but these guys, Kevin and Levy and Jeff Perazzo, their flight got delayed hanging out of Canada. So, and my mom was ready to go, but they bailed out at the last minute. We decided both go on Saturday, and I also got along with them. Got to have a chance for a few minutes. Just saw Jazz Bawala briefly on Friday night. I saw other people as well. I didn't see Abraham Rod there. He was there just bad time, I guess, and saw people from Unworthy the other night. Didn't really want to say anything to them. Did not get the chance. So if you guys end up finding this, thank you. It's nice meeting you guys. Yeah, come on, they were still cool, by the way. I really should probably check into them, but got a few pics of shirts so already on the Instagram. I have a few more that will be cool because I wore my Kiva mask and some cool, Kiva inspired ones in on Rio's Throne. That's gonna be cool when those drop. Also got Down Thunder White. So even this is the Bandai. I have the Bandai one right there with the trend. The guy who was selling it gave the correction, so that's good. This bike here very unstable, more so than the Hasbro figures, and also I just can't keep her gun holster. Yeah, that was nice. Getting into a convention. I did Philly Brickfest there. It wasn't in the same hall as Philly Brickfest. And I think other than that was like 2014, I believe, when that happened. I don't know if I've been out to Oaks since then. I think I've been up further on the 422. That way up to Royersford and that way. But anything else in that regard from Ranger Station? I don't think I've been to any other conventions or like any other Coaster News meetup things. So these are the first big thing I've done with Ranger Tokusatsu wise. So yep. Moving on next to Kamen Rider Saber. I don't think I talked about the other thing. I'd like to leave these for. There's actually thing I've been waited to rush after the last stream, which is Deep Sin. The story of Deep Sin is that it's really like a big accident due to a kid touching the sword of Null, which was Bato's sword, and the kid is split between Riku, who Chuma adopts, and then Dr. Mamiya, who becomes Tuma's friend and basically friends with everybody. And over the 8 years since that event happened at the kid, he's been able to try and erase Chuma from everyone's memory, in hopes of also erasing all the swordsmen as well. So yeah, 8 years. That tells you how big Chuma is in the world, and pegs Kento's fiance and Rintaro's lost father into eliminated swordsmen as well. So they're basically just like copies of the new Siren Power. And we got the cool new form that we saw quite a long time ago now for Kento. But we didn't really get much of that, especially I don't think we got any of it actually outside the church except for those photos, I believe. I wish we got a bit more screen time with that, and we we probably won't. Although there could be like an excuse that to work on it. I might bring it up again. I don't know. And all the Falcon's code doesn't have to be like passing it on or something. It's kind of like I thought that was Sentry, but no. Just that and then everything's erased at the end because they prevent the thing from happening. Yeah, I think I completed all the main Saber story stuff with that and Solo Saga, which was Solo Saga was two parts. Part one is basically the prologue until Kento revives. Slash's arrival into the Order and build to the events of Episode 1, where the Quarter Force Predator is dying. Previous Saber becoming Caliber, we just know that. Kid that linked in the bus, having a kid later on. Izak and Hayato want Luna to imprint on Kento, but that fails, leading into the events of the whole Caliber thing, and then the previous Saber becoming Caliber. And then eventually, Toma becomes Brave Dragon, and it all happens. But part 2 is more like continuing the recap of the whole show until like the end game, basically. And mostly more stuff from Kento's perspective, like just like all the new shows, mostly because of Kento. Plus, I think there's also a new Kento on the Zaz scene, I believe, in there. I was like, I forgot about that, but it was a new scene to me. Is there anything else I really thought about? I think that was a bit further back. Now then, just keeping up with the DonBrothers. And since I was going to do this segment, and because of Ranger Station, I was like, next time I do be the next time I talk about it, I might as well just review it, do final thoughts on the whole series. That's why I split it up. And so this is the August episode of the Lindsay TVFilm Podcast, and then next one is going to probably think some Hydra is out, maybe with subs, I believe. Might be wrong about that, but if it is, I'll probably be in the next stream along with Revice review. Plug in between with DonBrothers and anything else that pops up. That's probably my second or third. It's probably gonna be the day before I move back into campus officially. I can move stuff in a week or so. It's probably like sheets and kitchen stuff. I'm gonna do a week early. But yeah, so no show in August. I'm mostly gonna try and focus on finishing up the agency tales, and plus I'll be going to Joy Park on Saturday, and probably Hershey Park Monday, and then I'm going to be meeting up with Miles and Transit and that crew August 7th in the city, so that's going to be at least 3 vlogs coming out between, I might coming in close to this, so I might be April 28th, this on the 2nd, and finish that out on the 6th. She's on the 6th, and then I have a cool idea for the fall over on the History and Leisure channel. Well, that's just History and Leisure related. But yeah, since this was so good, I didn't. Well, it was just the first experience and not like a whole big thing. I was like, let's talk about Ranger Station here and call it a day. DonBrothers. I'm caught up on all things Toku, by the way. Now for the main 2 series I've been following all this time. Go back all the way time to the time Taro died and the 6th Ranger showed up. That's how far behind I am on this discussion. So Taro is actually really part of the ex-royal family Onogujiro, the 6th Ranger of the Noto clan, and they actually didn't like the ideas that the king were doing, so they overthrew him, basically. And then the little kids were scattered across the world, i.e. Japan. Doesn't transform until Joe doesn't transform to a 2nd episode, but there's a whole thing with like a 2-half thing. And this week's episode, we finally see his other half transform as Torvald, like his like whole dark side thing when he gets pissed that he's not the leader and all of that. And since his is that way, he doesn't have the point system like the other 4 companions: blue, yellow, pink, black. And he does end up saving Pink's life, who was turned into a monster, and Tara's life, getting him back in the game officially, because he did show up briefly in the episode before Jiro got his arsenal briefly out of the domain, where all the defeated people are from the Noto. And the Pink was based on Car Ranger, which was Dennis Powder's Turbo. And then they did the final 3rd card series with a ghost guarding a phone booth. And it's kind of thing, but I think it's more so it's the phone gimmick they decided to do with that. I believe ghost thing is kind of interesting. I was thinking about it around that time. I think I just written episode. I only have completely finished reading all the episodes of my new fanfic, Powers Realm Morphers. There's one episode I basically was kind of like based on the idea of Julie and the Phantoms, and since one of the elders is called Jolene, I thought about that early on. I was like, you have Jolene, the Yellow Ranger, and then you have an episode called Jolene and the Phantoms, this whole musical lady of these musician spirits. This is the only thing I did where we see the ghosts as the innocents before they're tend to be converted or get corrupted, and as they cross over, and in the end, the mentor of Richard, who is also a ghost, he ends up crossing over the end. But the thing is that basically all ghosts pass on, and all of humanity lives. The only other death is both mentors died in this. It's spoiler. Not this series, the fanfiction. The people have both died. I don't know what they're going to do as NK Black, because I thought they was leaving in June. Maybe that's when his actor was cut from production, because I could see us like end of this month, middle of next month, like the first half of the series. Could be done by the end of June, I don't know. You see a bit more about Black's love story is that his love, Natsumi, was taken over by the Bestials, and now we have Murasame, who was basically an artificial entity created by the Noto, and maybe the higher council. We haven't seen it in person, but I did kind of bring that to light in my Realm Warriors fan fiction. It's not an adaptation of DonBrothers, but truly just with trains, but it's more like kind of like DonBrothers with trains and the sticks. It's kind of the idea you're going at, but Natsumi's motif is the crane for the bestial type because of the origami. And the whole thing with the going to that is that there was along with hoping Tsubasa hoping that his love would be come back because it's been a year and he kept the secret, and then he revealed the secret on the 1 year anniversary to this guy who's trying to get his girl back, but the female Noto general kind of thinks that he's the one who lost her, and he's like bad on it. Plot twist: it's the girl who turns up turning into the monster because she ended up 2 episodes earlier with the rogue teacher. And so when she saw him turn into the dog, she got mad. But a few episodes later with the ghost, she likes the dog and she even pets him. And also Jiro feeds dog food and he reacts and he doesn't like that. But I agree, it's only one of the funniest moments in the whole thing. There was one cool like something the episode where somebody debuts where it's kind of like feels like an odd way of training at first, but it was kind of like again a type of bet on it between the main 5. Also, interesting is the fun episode they go into kind of like depth of history and these little things that she died trying to wait for him to get a phone call from the guy, and then they finally found the guy because somehow Pink Tsuyoshi met him once, has Carl ring him up, and then they got him to ring the phone in the cafe. So that's how it is. And now the other thing is that with this week's episode, the Joe was hoping that his love interest would be showing up in Tokyo, which ended up happening. But he tried to prove himself as leader, and that didn't quite go so well. They named this team the Dragonflyers, and they're trying to do a lot of good deeds, but ended up not working out so well. And Char ends up filling in, trying to save again for their weaknesses. Just kind of gets them on their high horse a bit, and Kaito basically warns them about revealing their identity, and so he basically takes that on. Basically covers for them in the end. And now it's going to lead into next week with basically Kaito revealing his status as a hero, but we don't know, but no one knows that he is Zenkaiser Black, except with Taro and maybe the Noto, and probably the Bestials. Yeah, forgot that we have Golomar sign from 2 weeks ago. That's like a fill-in fight, but it's nice to show. Putting the two new guys and DonBrothers on there because it makes sense. They're both of their debuts mostly, even though there's a bit with I think it is just both their debuts have been going on since the last time I brought them up. And yeah, next time we'll probably see Zenkaiser Black heading out. That is what I expect. And then I don't know. It'd be interesting if we get kind of like equivalent of a 6th member for the Noto, or maybe a bigger role with the Bestials, so they feel like more like a bigger threat in the real villains than the Noto. I don't know, but yeah, final thing is on Sunday after Ranger Station. There's nothing with Ranger Station like on Sunday at all, even if you knew. If you did everything, nothing Sunday. It's good to realize that so Top Gun Maverick with my mom. I saw the original during the pandemic. I was trying to look through the older episodes, and I don't think I ever mentioned it on Talking Not Toku. Yeah, I go through. First Talking Not Toku episode. This is that title. There's Mashing Music Talking Not Toku. I might have brought it up in a separate live stream. I don't know. It was first Talking Not Toku episode was the MASH finale, Fisherman's Friends movie. There's a segment coming out soon. Onward Prop Culture from Disney Plus, Disney Insider, Stargirl, coming non-Toku stuff. I think there was a second episode Talking Not Toku. I think I've just gone live with those, I guess. So, first Talking Toku Live was March 2020, right before COVID took hold. Doing a channel live. I don't think I watched that yet. Following one was These Guys Will Pass. That was brought up the Danger Force Quarantine episode. Saber with MASH. 01 with Hiden. Okay, Jungle Fury. Also, was around the Master Fan actually died. And mid-season of Cure Major and Beast Morphers. Yeah, I don't think I actually brought up my thoughts on Top Gun. Yeah, the last Talking Not Toku title was Julian the Phantoms, Zero to Side, Second Born Royals, Muppets Now, Can Against the Universe, and then Parasite, which was the film I watched in a contemporary film class, and then I think, I don't think I talked, more film festival stuff, I guess, but that wasn't until a long time later on in 2020, and but if you watch the first film and then you watch the new film, the whole windows feel basically the same, and it's just like a lot of energy. It felt like energy from Friday night, being all that excitement. So it was still kind of up there. Then I thought it would be more pick up with his teaching career with the assignment, but like now since he was only a teacher for 2 months, and then he went back into the field, and then he was working on this secret project with a new jet, and he was able to take it Mach 10, and that basically just saves the program. He also has this turboprop project he works on at the beginning of the film, and then he actually flies it at the end of the film, and the pre-official end credits part, like not the black screen with all scrolling, but I have some of that there. But he has to go back in the theater for a very difficult mission, and the new people, including Goose's son, Brewster, who he's kind of been in the background with, and with his mom dying, especially that was his mom's final wish, was to not have him go down the military road like his dad. And I think that was even true in Top Gun. I don't want my son to go down that military road, but he does anyway, even after Maverick pulls his Navy college papers. Cool seeing female members on the team. Feel obviously really pick the ones to focus on more specifically, especially kind of like comparing the rivalry with Rooster and Hangman to that of Maverick and Iceman. Eventually, obviously, Iceman and Maverick became Captain and Wingman, and then rose to the ranks and kind of helped Maverick get out of trouble. And then they did get a chat one last time, although they brought in Val Kilmer's real illness, and then they eventually did come off. It's kind of like a parallel to Goose in the original film. You can see the old cafe again, and in there they bring up Great Balls of Fire again with Brewster playing that on the piano in there. I don't think they brought that back, but there's obviously a new song that they did with the kind of the equivalent of like the playing with the boys segment. They did a whole new song with that there. And then there's a point where they try to kick Maverick off, try to adjust things, but then Maverick was able to get back in and ended up making him team captain anyway. And so whole bonding moment with Rooster after the whole mission is complete with destroying the, I think it's like building like a whole uranium plant and secret base there somewhat. I think it's probably like in Asia near Russia or something, I guess, is probably what this is alluding to. Mission there, but they do difficult terrain and stuff, and so that's why. But then now we're kind of sacrificing himself, and then Bruce feels really bad, so he sacrifices himself, and then they steal the old plane that the bad guys have, and so Bruce has probably learn his dad's job while they're being chased by the two scout fighters of the bad guys, and then they end up kind of nice bonding back together and sort of like tying up the loose ends and solving all the problems. So basically that whole final sequence, the whole sequence with the actually doing the mission is the climax, but then you have, the whole sort of like out of the way with the two sacrificing himself and getting the plane, and then that final battle where Hangman ends up saving their skin. I realize like kind of sort of like denouement, it's kind of, it's probably not quite as long as like, though I really feel there is definitely more of a falling action with this film than I thought there would be, because it's using, oh hey, they have everything, everybody lives, they go back, they get saved, hail, but no, we got a bit more time to resolve the relationship issues left open from the beginning of the film, like with Maverick's divorce and stuff like that. So everything ends up working out both as being heroes and in the more interpersonal aspect of the film. See, I haven't really watched a lot of big film this year, but yeah, it has been a good one. This is my first film I watched back in the theater since COVID. I don't think 2019, I'm not sure what the last one I watched in the theater was actually. Probably would have been 2019. Maybe Fantastic Beasts 2? I don't know. But if you want to talk more about Fantastic Beasts 3, that was the last stream. Next stream is probably going to have some Hydra in it, as I said earlier. Close out Revice, continue with DonBrothers, per usual. And again, anything else that comes up. So yeah, until next time, comment, subscribe, and strike the bell.